Hello, everyone. Greetings. This is Interstellar Radio. Today's date is May 25th, 2019. We have Gina on the line. All right,
Good
greetings.
evening.
Hello.
Good evening. Hi.
Hi. It's been a while, hasn't it?
It has been taking some vacation time and traveling a little bit, doing some local hot spots, and definitely happy to be back and share some of the exciting things that I experienced.
Very good. You said you had a recent UFO experience recently.
Yeah, I
Like to
did.
share.
Absolutely. It was incredible. Completely blew my mind, but it was here in Florida, excuse me, Central Florida, because I was traveling, and I was traveling on what we call US 1 here in Florida, which it rides right by the intercoastal waterways, and I was up by Kennedy Space Center, passing through, and I witnessed, as we were passing the Kennedy Space Center on the highway, I witnessed a black ship-like, humongous black ship, which I can say would resemble what we have heard in the past. People talk about the Black Knight ship. It resembled that, and it was hovering right over the Kennedy Space Center launch pads where people go to watch the shuttles, or used to go to watch the shuttles go off. And I just was mesmerized by what I was looking at, but the car kept moving. I didn't, the person in the vehicle I was traveling in, which by the way was a motorcycle, obviously I wasn't having a conversation about it with the other person. They actually did not see or take notice of it. I was just completely stunned, and I didn't even know what to say. So I just stared at it as long as I could, up until the point that it was out of sight. I was farther down the road to where I couldn't see it any longer. So that evening, I came home, not my home, but I was out on the road. So I was staying in a nice little hotel there, and I Googled right away. Really, I did, because I wanted to see if anybody had seen anything, and nothing had posted. It was way too soon for that. But I was speaking to a friend of mine who was also taking a weekend getaway, she was about an hour south of where the Kennedy Space Center sighting, where I saw what I did that Saturday, April 27th, this year, at around 1 o'clock, I would say in the afternoon, is when I saw this. And I was telling her what I had seen, and she said, "You are not going to believe what happened this afternoon." She was out on the beach, like I said, about an hour south of Kennedy Space Center, and three fighter jets flew past her, it's very unusual. There was not an air show going on that weekend, and they were headed actually north towards where I would say is Kennedy Space Center.
Yeah.
So I just really don't know what I had witnessed, other than what I just shared with you. When I got back from my trip, I Googled it again to see. I was just really hoping somebody else saw something. I can't even believe that there was nothing on the news. Not that I watch the news, but
Yeah.
Facebook news or internet news, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you Google today, there is somebody that posted a video, and it said UFO over Kennedy Space Center for 2 days. Weekend was April 27, 2019. What that video is of a disc,
Wow.
which is different than what I saw. So that, I don't know what's going on there. I don't know if this was our testing, or was I witnessing something else? I don't know.
Feels like it
And
was
that is,
alien.
yeah.
That's what it
I
feels
would
like.
I would say that the feeling that I had was absolutely out of this world. I honestly, I'm seriously, I've seen from a distance discs. Okay, I've seen orbs. I've even seen ship in the sky with the lights, but nothing like what I saw. This took up the entire space from building to building. It covered both, that I think it's even like it was like two towers. I don't know if they're two towers or it appears to be like two towers maybe connected somehow, but yes, that's what I saw.
That's amazing. Yeah, you probably know in the news about the, SpaceX and even Blue Origin are competing, trying to live on Mars or live in space, and
that's right.
It's there's activity going on there, so I don't have the full details of what's going on. I never really dived that deep into it, but most of it's just talk. But there's a lot going on. But
there's definitely something going on, and to be honest with you, people that were traveling behind me or in front of me, I mean, nobody's reported it. I didn't report it. I don't report things to the news, but and to be honest with you, I thought about it. I'm like, why didn't I just pull over and just but I knew the person I was with was not a person that had an interest in that type of story or information. So I know afterwards, I'm like, I really just wish I could have just sat there and watched to see what happened. Did it just disappear? Did it move? I don't know. I didn't get to see that part.
Yeah, for it to be there that long, or if it was multiple ships, it's still, not really a surprise. But they wanted to have their presence there for a reason. There's something.
And the orbs could have come from it. That were lingering that people saw at night, because mine was in daytime. And I'd say my travel time on the motorcycle from the moment I spotted it from a distance, because I'm like, oh, cool, Kennedy Space Center, we're getting there, getting by. And to the time I couldn't see it as I passed it was about maybe 2 minutes, 2 to 3 minute time span. So that's really a long time to be staring at one object and nothing happened. It was just there.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It wasn't a cloudy day. It wasn't obviously I'm on the back of a motorcycle. It's not raining. There were no clouds. It's a sunny day. It was real.
Yeah, I've been thinking about going out there, but just haven't really feel like the need for it. I guess there will be a time for it eventually.
Maybe to go out to see next space launch. I haven't seen one of those. I mean, back in the day when they were launching the shuttle, I was there. I would see it. And I live in South Florida. It's a distance by car, but we would, on occasion, be able, with a clear sky, to see a launch from where I am. Some days, but I don't really have the ability to see it any longer. The SpaceX, I don't see.
Well, I guess we'll go into this subject matter, just for a little bit. The secret space program, that's pretty much connected to it. Even our public, the public version. And some people had difficulties the secret space program is more of a fourth dimensional energy. And of course, a lot of people hear about it. It's like, oh, that's not real. We're not seeing it. But if it's in the fourth dimension, they're not going to see it.
That's right.
For various reasons.
So let's talk about that. I mean, is it possible what I witnessed was part of the secret space program operating in fourth dimension, which, by the way, it would make sense that we would see something that would be moving through from third dimension into fourth dimension and back as part of a test program. That's very possible. But I don't know the answers to any of those things. But the secret space program, it is my belief that it does operate in fourth dimension. And, this is technology that was given to us by extraterrestrials and their equipment I know that you hear the experts that tell us these stories, the people that have witnessed it, that they have information that has been shared, okay, about these types of technologies and movements and time travel and all that. So, it's very possible what I witnessed was the secret space program operating and coming back, moving into third dimension. I don't know.
I think it has some connection to it. I mean, a lot of people in the, there's so many stories about the secret space program that, and a lot of people have a lot of detail on it and they just know it exists. Of course, they got no proof, technically.
Sure.
But you can feel it in their energies and whatever might be going. Just those, many in the third dimensional thinking they want physical proof, they want this, but they're not really ready for their spiritual growth, you can say, into that realm.
That's true, and that's not a bad thing.
No.
It's just that sometimes it's just people are not ready. I'm sure you and I know I have, and I'm sure you have experienced that type of situation where you're like, you know what, I'm just comfortable not knowing right now. I'd rather just stay third dimensional and watch Fox, whatever.
Yeah.
Right, but I definitely understand that. So I don't think that it's a negative thing at all.
No, I don't think
and I
so.
don't think somebody is more, spiritual than another person. I think it's all free will, and we have no right infringing our free will on others, right? So if other people are not prepared or ready at that time, that's not the time for them to see it or experience it.
Yeah.
And that goes with our spirit guides.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's going to go it's only going to get bigger.
That's right.
It's not going, and so people are always going to have some kind of difficulties digesting it all because they're so tuned into this reality, which makes sense. But more people are going to be tuning into another reality, which is, a crazy person's reality, but not necessarily crazy, but
But if you think about it in this way, we don't think people who dream are crazy, but they're having experiences when they're in the dream world. We all go to sleep eventually. Some have better experiences than others, of course, but we all go into another state of mind where we're having experiences in our mind. So think about that for a moment to say, well, why would it be strange that we're experiencing fourth dimension or spirit guide experiences? Why would that be looked at like we're crazy, but yet we're able to sit there and go, oh my God, you're not going to believe what I dreamed last night. Right? You're not going to believe what I dreamed last night, or wow, it just felt like I was really, having this experience, because you were. That's what's happening, right? And so you can have these experiences when you're awake. Exactly.
Well, that's what we're moving towards, that's for sure.
And that's right. It's a smooth little transition. It's like tempering the water, and so little by little, you're going to have people coming forth saying, "Oh my God, you're not going to believe it! I actually feel my spirit guide with me today, helping me, talking to me." It's been happening from the beginning of time, but more and more people are now going to feel safe to talk about their own personal experiences without fearing that somebody's going to think that they're off the wall.
Yeah, to go into our next subject about spirit guides, people are still trying to understand that connection. I don't know if you give them your point of view about how you see it.
Sure. Well, absolutely. So with regard to spirit guides and receiving information, or how do you know it's actually a spirit guide, and how can you tell? Everybody has a different experience connecting with their spirit guides. Some may call it if they're religious, you know, their whoever they pray to in their religion. Some people consider it their higher self. Whatever it is there's no wrong answer. It's just this feeling that you have that something greater than yourself has a hand in assisting you with making progress through this journey that you're on. And how do you know that it is a spirit guide? And I often get asked this question by my clients that come to see me for their spiritual healings. And I explain to them, it's not about what you see. It's not about really what you hear with your ears. It's really a feeling that you have. And this feeling will guide you. And it's really in your solar plex. You're going to feel it in your heart. You're going to feel it in your solar plex. Really, this sensation. And you're going to know. And I will tell you that I am going through a lot of beautiful life changes right now. And, you know, when I step back and think about it too much, boy, it is sure as hell frightening. But at the same time, I try not to think about it so much and understand and trust that I know that this is where I'm supposed to be. But in one day, I actually signed 2 contracts. And it just happened on the same day. And everything just kind of fell into my lap, and I'll explain it to you here much better. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm actually moving my home, and I've also moved my business to a new location, to a new building. Mm-hmm. I really didn't have a game plan. Like, I just knew I was going to move my home, but I really wasn't thinking immediately that I was going to move my business. Especially, I would have waited till after I moved my home to give that any thought. But it's really not my agenda. My higher self is guiding and telling me what to do. Now, there are certain things that were happening with the arrangement that I had where I was renting this office. There were things that were going against what I felt were right and what were right for me. And but again, I was just staying there because, well, it's not the right time. Well, guess what? The universe said it is the right time. Mm-hmm. And I got an email that somebody was looking for a therapist who does the work that I do. And I thought they were just looking for a therapist for themselves. But what it turned out to be is it was a realtor helping a business owner look for a therapist to come into this building that they were investing in. And to do the work that I do. As you know, I'm a massage therapist as well as Reiki and energy healing. So I'm thinking, oh, well, maybe my friend would like that to go there. I'm going to give my girlfriend a call. Maybe she'll be interested. Not thinking that my guides were going, no, this is for you. No, you're getting this because it's for you. Why are you thinking of somebody else? Because I thought, well, I'm already at a place right now where I'm working. There's no way I could move my office and my home in the same time. That would be ridiculous. But it's not. So at the same time, I was looking, right before the email came, I was looking to relocate my home. I wanted to get closer to the water. I'm out west, want to go east a little bit. And I had this idea of where I wanted to be. So I found this realtor who was going to take me to see this property. But while we were there, she's like, you don't want to be here. I want to take you somewhere else. And I knew the place. It's literally 2 minutes from where my business that I just moved to. It's literally 2 minutes away from each other. And so I get to this property that she had for me to see. It was the perfect setup. Could walk to the beach. Everything about it was like, are you kidding me? I had it in my head, but it wasn't this good. So what am I getting at? Is that it happened to present itself to me. And I realized when it was, instead of resisting her and saying, no, I like this place, I want this other place that I originally called you for, I allowed the process. I didn't resist the process.
Yeah.
And so when it came to the business, I had a lot of fear in making the shift. I was getting a little nervous about it. But I said, you know what? This is the right thing. And everything about this feels right in my gut. When I think about staying in the building that I'm staying in right now and not honoring myself because what's happening is going against my beliefs and how I can grow my business.
Mm-hmm.
When I think about staying, I get a different feeling, you see.
Yeah.
So that would be where I try to help others, and I have to practice what I share with other people for myself, is to really honor. When you honor yourself and you stand up for your beliefs, the universe is just going to overwhelm you with gifting you on this journey, so that you making sure you are where you need to be, wherever that is. If you are hit with resistance, challenges, obstacles, everything's in your way, then understand that maybe your guides are telling you, no, I'm trying to get you to look at it a different way. It's about those feelings and understanding it. It is real. It is absolutely 100% real. So.
Yeah, it's like they're like using a bullhorn to get your attention, you know. Just,
and some people don't listen, and then they find themselves in a predicament.
mm-hmm.
That
fight it.
yeah, you know, or you know what? I don't want to go slow in this traffic. I'm going to turn here, you know, and go down the other road. And oh God, the guy in front of me just as slow as the last guy. So I'm going to go turn this way. Next thing you know, you find yourself, maybe you're stuck in a traffic accident, mm-hmm. or maybe your car breaks down, or maybe whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm.
Keeping in mind that those obstacles are not obstacles. They're aids. Now, I'm the last person to say, slow down when you see those signs, and, because I'm like freaking, I'm not a slow driver when it comes to, to that, because of the traffic in our area is a little crazy.
Yeah.
But then I realized maybe this is a way they're trying, my guides are helping me.
Mm-hmm.
They're saying slow down or pay attention, one of the two. So that would be my story as regarding the guides and how they communicate with us.
Yeah, with guides, like there is trickster energies that are not always easy to figure out. And
so that goes back to the feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're trying to convince yourself, well, my guide is probably telling me to do this, so maybe I should, even though it doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Because, again, your heart chakra,
mm-hmm.
your heart energy,
mm-hmm.
and your solar plex, which is the chakra or the energy right below the heart, which is above the space between the heart and the belly button, is called your solar plex. And there is where you get a pull sensation, a pulling sensation. When you have an uncomfortable feeling about something, please listen to it. Understand that feeling. When it comes to, I don't know if this is the right, should I change my job? Oh, but I need the paycheck, and I don't want to, try to find a job. What if I don't find another one? Well, you're not honoring, because you're having a feeling that you need a change.
Mm-hmm.
Because you wouldn't have thought about it to begin with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So.
Follow the heart, basically. It's not the easiest
to
focus. Many follow their minds. And
it is terrifying. And don't think for 1 minute the past couple weeks I have been, if I sit back and think about everything that's happening, I have like a nervous breakdown. I'm like, what are you thinking? But if I just keep doing it and just keep moving forward with it, it just unfolds so beautiful.
Yeah, you're just not stressed. You're just not. I mean, you're going to have some kind of stress, obviously, but not like overly stress over it.
It's not actually a negative
Yeah,
stress. It's just,
exactly.
and,
Yeah.
and exciting stress, but it's not negative stress. I don't feel. I feel very excited,
Hmm.
I know that the people that are lining up um, are there for a reason because something else is happening. I'm
Yeah.
making new connections
Yeah. That
in the
that
business.
makes. Well, you need that
Mhm.
environment for your work,
Mhm.
so you can connect with people. You need this energy from the sun.
Yeah.
You say you're by the beach, right? So
Oh, well, that is like where healing takes place,
yeah.
by the intercoastal, actually. So, in my little community that I'm moving to next weekend, I'm so grateful. My guides have led me here. But you want to know something? I've envisioned this space for
Hmm.
the past probably year or two, maybe even 2 years now. It's probably 2 years because I really needed to be. This is my ritual used to be where every night I would go to the beach. I would drive there. I'm about 10 miles from it where I live now and do my meditation on the beach. But it's a public beach.
Hmm.
So I was getting a little bit nervous because it was, season was here. There was
Yeah.
more people from the north. It was
Yeah.
getting crazy. So I stopped really kind of going.
Mm.
So I really was wishing that I could have like this private space on the water that I could just go to where nobody really, the public cannot get to me.
Hmm.
So she takes me to this place, the realtor, and she says, "Come with me." We walk down the towards because it's near a marina, and she's like, "Here's your own little private beach." I'm like, "What? Are you kidding me?" So there's sand. It's not the ocean. It's the intercoastal water. But the way it's set up is it's got a beached area where you can put towels and things and fish and do my meditation. So listen, I visioned it. I wanted it. I knew how important it was for my spiritual growth, and so that I could bring this information to other people to aid them on their journey. And then this place presented itself. And so what I say to you is just understand that the universe is conspiring to help you. And there are those trickeries that are going to come in and
Hmm.
maybe try to, cause confusion. But you are much stronger than that, and your energy is much stronger than that. And you have a specific tool gauge within your body that in your energy, not your physical form, but your spiritual form, to know which when it's trickery or not.
Hmm. No, yeah, it makes.
Yeah.
Well, like so the beach area, obviously
Mhm.
you were seeing it 2 years ago because you're going to meet people that need that energy coming from you and coming
Mhm.
from the area. But also, you live in that type of area too, closer
Yes.
to the water. So you need to keep that vibration with you.
I
So,
do. There was a point of me during this 2 years of knowing that I was getting ready to move,
hmm,
that I was thinking I need to go to the mountains, I want to go to North Carolina. But there's just something that's telling me not yet. It's
yeah,
not saying no, no, don't go, because I absolutely still feel like I need to do something there.
hmm,
But it's not yet. And so
exactly.
instead of forcing the move to North Carolina, because I was making plans,
Hmm. Hmm.
things just kind of didn't feel like that's where I was hitting walls and barriers and delays, and things would happen to prevent me from leaving. Uh, that's that's what I'm talking about, where the guides were saying, no, no, not yet. We need you to do this first. So instead of thinking it's my agenda, I open up to my higher self and say, you show me what it is I need to where I need to go, because I have made the decision, the conscious decision to raise my vibration and to continue helping other people on this journey.
Yeah, definitely. So that's so. Was it North Carolina or South Carolina?
North Carolina,
South Carolina.
specifically Asheville,
And this
and just
was
well, just outside of Asheville.
And this, you were thinking about going there like a couple years ago, or how long?
Oh, for the past 2 years.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah, yeah. So,
Huh.
and it's very possible it's a past life memory I'm having.
Yeah.
That's also a possibility.
There's a possibility of that. It's not making it that clear.
No,
Not
it's
here.
not to me either.
It's
But
not that
because it's a
important.
barrier, it's not time.
Yeah, you're connecting to an energy there. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
You are bringing. You're well. I mean, say like astrally, you are there right now. So you're bringing whatever
Right.
energies you need here. Let's put that.
Thank you for validating that, Ivan. That's true. I do go there a lot.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yes,
I mean
I do.
travel. Oh, interesting.
Astro travel and yes, and what we call
sure.
our dream
Yeah,
state
yeah,
or
yeah.
my lucid dreams. I'm there a lot. I'm doing a lot of work over there.
There's a energy source there definitely.
But my healing happens at the water.
Yeah. Well,
Because, I've talked about this several times that I am still healing from injury from an automobile accident, and I had an illness back in 2016 that I have healed from or overcoming every single day. And my healing takes place at the water. And so they put me there. They want me to finish my healing process. I'm not done with that process. That's why I need to be there.
yeah, because what I get from that, like a lot of female energy, is very connected to Lemuria.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
so-
Thank you. Yes.
And so when like a lot of females open up to this energy through that lifetime, and why the male is so hard to open up. Some do, obviously. Many are connected to that Martian energy. That's what I got this message as we were talking. And the Martian, you know how that goes. Very male, very, who needs the female, or however you want to look at that.
And they say men are from Mars, women are from Venus.
Exactly. So that's why the male has some difficulties. Not all, but some of them have difficulties connecting to all this. So, because they have connections there. So, and they might be able to
That would
connect.
make sense.
The male might connect to aliens, but not spiritually. Physically, they'd rather connect to it, stuff like, that's what I'm getting from that. Interesting.
Interesting.
So,
What do you think about
Yeah.
the planet Uranus?
that's a very mysterious and powerful planet from what I can feel. It is. It's like you go to, I almost feel like there's many worlds within it. Many, obviously there is with all, but that one's, there's just so many different aspects of it that can take you to another higher dimension energy or even a lower that can do all, just very powerful planet. That's what I get from that.
Interesting. I think I shared with you that I have the tattoo symbol for the planet Uranus
Yeah.
on the back of my neck. And when I first saw, I didn't know years ago when I got it, I didn't know that symbol that I was looking at was the symbol for the planet Uranus. But yet I knew I needed to have the tattoo. I think I
Wow.
told this story in another talk.
Yeah.
We've done this for almost a year now, so
Yeah, I think so.
I must have said it at some point. But I wanted to talk about it because it was, I remembered this story today as I was coming back from my new office, and I was like, I just remember saying, I need to have this tattoo on the back of my neck so they could find me.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You told me about
And I
that.
found that very weird that I would think that, right?
That
Remember?
is weird.
I'm like, why the hell would I say that? That's the weirdest thing to say. But I honestly really do understand it.
Yeah.
Now, I really do understand it on a different level right now. Absolutely. And so because I'm an intuitive, I think that it is intuitives are drawn to that planet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Possibly there's a connection there. So.
Yeah, a lot of souls were created through that world. It's been through a lot too, like ours, but not to this extent. But I mean, I believe all these worlds around ours have been through have been similar to Earth.
Well,
in some way.
we're the new version of
You
them.
can say that, yeah. We're the. That's what I think, because they've all been through. You get energies from Mars. It's like, yeah, that place wasn't exactly a walk in the park, and other worlds aren't really, because a lot of them have went to a higher dimension now, but they're still assisting us with their wisdom. So you
That's
can,
right. There's
yeah,
information we still need to learn from.
exactly. And I think you came in through Uranus,
Aha.
obviously a long time ago, but yeah,
Right. I don't have a memory of that particular process, but there was just some reason I needed to have this
interesting.
symbol on my neck. Yeah, and so it's very cool that that happened. And I think that people, when they start to have these thoughts of things, start looking into it deep within yourself. You're not going to find the answer in a book or somebody else's experience of that situation. You could ask somebody who you trust, who is works with people and their energy and guides, or an intuitive to help you. But the most important thing is to really sit back, and when I did this for myself, is to sit back and think about, what is my connection with this planet? Why was I drawn to this? And I went into meditation, and then it was shown to me, you see. So I think that, being open and having, removing fear will help you elevate your spiritual connections on this journey you're taking. Because that's
Well,
all it is.
well, like you said too, it's a lot of it is timing too.
Yeah.
No, it
Hmm.
just it has. We don't see it, but because it just goes into our decision making, and we don't always aware of our future decisions, but our guides are aware of it. So if you
Right.
know this now, you might not make this decision to stay with your family or something. You might want to move to Utah or something else or whatever.
Right.
It'll take you
Right.
off your path, or however you want to word it. So
Yes,
just
right. That's true. But if it doesn't feel good, or if somebody's
yeah,
telling you you should do this,
exactly.
that's the trickery too, by the way.
Yeah,
The trickery could come in the form of somebody else telling you you should be doing something else.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, just it's it's many tricks within a trick, you can say.
There's nobody's going to know what your life's journey is other than your higher self.
Exactly.
That is your guide.
And well, some souls are here to obviously experience the trickery sometimes for soul growth. I mean, that's just the way it is too. I mean, that's one way to learn, and a lot of people go
Well,
through it.
that's right.
Actually,
Everything that we do, go through and endure. The lesson, because I can't share stories of other people, so I always tell the story of myself, because it's just safer to just share my story. But the reason I will share the real reason why I just knew I had to leave where I was. I was being taken advantage of for my services. People were expecting free or discounted services from me. Now, if I didn't need money to live, then I wish I could just do this without having to charge. But these were the same people that were taking advantage. And so I did give a lot of discount when people were, telling me, oh, I needed some, could you help me because I can't really afford to do. I said, of course I will help you. But then somebody else sees it, and then so the next thing you know, again, it becomes I was taken advantage of.
yeah,
And so I knew that I needed that my time here is done.
yeah, seriously.
I did time served. And I needed to be there. Let me tell you, I needed to be there. But sometimes we stay somewhere longer than we need to be there. Our contract with those people and those energies ended, but yet we still hang on. That's what I was doing because I was afraid to make my move at the same time as my home. So I didn't honor myself for a long time. I was just allowing that that situation to continue. But it didn't feel right. And one day I just said, no, Gina, you just can't be here. You're going to have to really seriously, if you want to grow, and you're telling other people what to do, you need to do the same thing. And that was when the email came that day.
Wow.
To offer me that space. When I had finally acknowledged it and said no, and I told the people that I will no longer be doing barter because it was not an even trade, and the trade was not, the exchange was not, it didn't feel right.
Yeah.
And I will no longer be offering discounts. Then that's when the whole thing shut down.
Yeah.
Immediately. As soon as I said that, everything just shut down.
Yeah.
And so the business partners in that transaction were not happy that I shut them down. But who was happy was my guide.
Yeah.
They're like, yay, you graduated, here you go.
Wow. That's
here's this next step for you.
Interesting. Yeah, even at my job, a lot of people want to just do barter. It's like, I don't know how you survive off of barter, but sometimes you can, I guess.
Well, barter you can't. No, you can't. But I was actually doing barter with another doctor, a doctor.
Yeah.
And it was and then that person was sending me their brother, their mother, their sister, their cousin, their uncle. I'm like, no. My energy exchange in a barter is with the person that I'm bartering with, not their extended relative. So whenever this is a rule of thumb, getting off topic real quick, if you're ever in a barter situation, first of all, have set guidelines and boundaries for yourself immediately and make that other person aware. And secondly, the person that you're exchanging with should be the only person that you barter with, not to do favors outside of that exchange. Meaning, if I'm receiving a service from you, Ivan, and you and I are bartering, you're the only person I would be giving those bartered services to, not a cousin, an aunt, an uncle, or a friend.
Yeah, exactly. Jeez.
So, yeah, it was getting crazy. But, hey, I stood up. And the point is, when I put my foot down, even though I was scared to death, the universe was like immediately, okay, you passed. Here's your next steps.
Yeah, because I keep feeling like California for the future, but I'm just waiting. I keep waiting because I know something's going to happen eventually, but might be 10 years or 20 years. So
who knows? But you know what? That's good because you're starting to connect with what this path and this journey is all about. And then maybe the things that are happening now will make more sense so you could see how they lead to the next step.
Yeah.
Bringing you closer.
Yeah, because I've been connected to California for over, I don't know, it's been a long time. It's like 6, maybe 7 years, probably 10 years, probably.
Wow.
But nothing's really, it takes time. Things take time.
But just as like I said, you could get a call tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly.
Out of the blue and be like, oh my God, wow. So it doesn't matter. Time is just an illusion, right?
Exactly.
So we're just having these experiences until we learn from them. I had to learn my lesson. I had to, endure some painful experiences until I realized them. And so that is how we grow and learn and evolve.
Yeah, with recently, yesterday I went to Disney and the Magic Kingdom to do a video. And man, I just felt the energy there just did not feel good at all. It's like something's going on there. Just, like with security, it feels more as coming from security.
Is that right?
What I felt was more coming from about their employees that they've been hiring, that some shady employees are coming in more than usual, I feel like.
Interesting enough, I heard, correct me if I'm wrong, that Disney is offering their employees now college education at University of Florida.
Oh, interesting. I think they might be.
In Gainesville.
Yeah, they just upgraded their pay a little bit, so.
And now they're offering why that university, you know?
Yeah.
So I heard that that could be incorrect information. So I'm not saying that that's true or a matter of fact, but interesting that you're saying this about the employees and the security.
Yeah.
Now this announcement that they are offering college education to their employees from the University of Florida.
Yeah, I think, yep. Pick up the tab for workers to enroll in UCF. Yep.
There you go. Oh, well, UCF, I heard, was Walmart.
Okay.
So University of Florida was being, I know, it's crazy, right? Yeah. What? People who have had to pay for their college are like, I could have been working at Walmart this whole time, go to UCF. But I believe that the comment was, or maybe I have it reversed, Walmart to use the University of Florida, and I don't know, but those two universities are involved.
Interesting. Yeah, it's just something that's, when I was at Disney, it was just freaking weird. Just
well, I don't know what they're up to.
Well, they're just working with the Illuminati, of course.
But we all know that Mr. Disney himself was working with Wernher von Braun back in the day.
Yeah.
So they've been involved from day one.
Yeah, it's just weird.
Space Mountain is not an accident.
Yeah. I mean, it's just weird. Yeah, the whole Disney thing connected to children just doesn't feel right. None of it feels right. It's like, jeez. A lot of hypnotism going in there.
Yeah, there is. But, they say it's the most magical place on Earth because it just takes you out of reality. It's what it does.
Yeah, exactly. What kind of magic are they using exactly? It's like,
what's in the water? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, fantasy. They sell fantasy, a fantasy reality, obviously.
That's right. Jeez. So it just keeps people in that. I was one. I used to go there. I raised my children here in Florida, and back a few 20 plus years ago, I was bringing them. Of course, I participated in it because I didn't know. I didn't know any different.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's there to teach. I mean, when people awaken too, they'll see there's a lot of alien, a lot of stuff there from the higher realms. It has a little bit of everything.
I would love for you to consider coming over to on this side. Go to Kennedy Space Center, even Casadega. I don't know how you feel about that, but definitely Space Coast over here, and maybe do a reading from the Kennedy Space Center.
Yeah.
You could go in and do a tour or whatever. They have that available to the public.
Yeah.
I'd love for you to see what you get from that.
Yeah, I've been there about a couple of years ago. 4 years ago, but I wasn't really reading into it that deeply. But there's a lot more going on there. Yeah, I just haven't felt drawn to it. But yeah, definitely, I'll probably go there more in Casadega from what it feels like. It feels like there's a lot going on with space right now.
Yeah, for sure. Well, obviously, we started this conversation with this really remarkable vision of this. What could have been possibly the Black Knight or a version of it at Kennedy Space Center. So, and then I don't know if you had a chance to look it up about UFO sightings, Kennedy Space Center, April 27th, 2019. That video of the orb in the evening, not at night. That was found there as well. Yeah, okay. I know Dr. Stephen Greer. Stephen Greer does his CSETI experiences not too far from there either, just a little south of that, maybe about maybe an hour or two south of Kennedy Space Center. They do the CSETI. I'm sure you're familiar with that.
Wait, he still does that?
They go through the Well, they used to do it right there in Bureau.
Yep. Yeah, I saw that on YouTube a while ago. That was pretty neat.
Well, he's developed groups. So what he has done is he developed groups. So I don't know if he's still doing it or not, but there's groups that that are now. I don't know. I think they're still doing it without him, but anyway, something to think about.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, he's. Oh yeah, they show an orb on YouTube.
Yeah, yeah, and the guy just—it's like a 2 minute or 2.5 minute video. It's not that great, but it's ironic that that video was posted the day of my sighting of this other thing. Is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
And then my friend who saw these,
Weird.
3 fighter jets speed by, was a little bit much to say the least. So
Interesting. Yeah.
anyway.
Wow, that thing is just bobbing around too. That's.
Right.
And you think that stuff would get more attention? It will eventually. A lot of people are just not ready for this stuff.
No.
I mean, I don't know. What do you feel about people opening up to all this? I mean, we get different years, like forever.
So it seems like it's forever, but it's actually not. If you think about where we are today in our discussions and our technologies and our connection to each other without the internet, without even the cell phone, you and I wouldn't even be able to share our stories compared to where we were as a human race 20 years ago. We were there were things that were going on, but other people were not made aware of, or they thought, well, I'm the only person that witnessed it. Nobody's going to believe me. But in today's technology and where we are today, we're having more and more ability to connect with each other, and the communities are getting much larger. So I feel like it's going really great as far as more and more people. I feel better connected, let's just say. I would not have been having these conversations that I'm having 20 years ago.
No. Well, yeah, because I got a message today. We're doing a channeling. I'll upload that eventually. But, that I could have came in a lot earlier. Maybe it'd been activated like the 1980s or something. But there was no internet, so it would have been kind of hard to. It's like I had to come in during the time of the internet. It would just be easier,
Sure.
You know how it
right.
is.
A lot of people awoke during 2012. That was a significant time frame. I know that some of us, like I mentioned before to you, as a indigo child, first wave Blu-ray indigo is what I understand. I came in on and have been awake. My third eye has been open and never closed. So it's been my personal experience has been a very lonely experience growing up as a young child during that time, because you don't have anybody to share it with. So there are groups now of indigo children that are now adults that can talk and get together and share their stories as well. So I think it's really good. I think people are really wanting to make those connections. We don't really need government to justify what we already know.
No, yeah.
I don't think we need to be sitting around waiting for them to justify it or validate you.
Well, the human consciousness, it's when it's, obviously it knows everything. All of us as a collective, astrally, you can say, we know what's going on. Just, for our human experience to catch on is, we're living the story, the movie, and we're just, if we can snap our fingers, it'd be a lot easier. But
sure. Of course, it would be nice to get to the end result, but that's really not what this experience is about.
Exactly. It's the lessons, the journey. It's what we're learning with it on our way.
That's right. So sometimes I catch myself doing what you're doing and thinking, like, why can't we just all be doing this right now?
Yeah.
But I realize, let me just experience the space that I'm in right in this moment.
Yeah.
Because I need to learn things here. I need to improve, and that way I could continue to assist others down the road, because we don't know what we're going to need then. we have probably not, we haven't awakened to all of our abilities.
Oh no, far from it. Yeah, we have a long ways to go. I mean,
That was a download.
yeah,
That was a download.
telekinesis. Oh yeah, telekinesis.
Uh-huh.
Be able to
That's right.
fly. Fly is, I believe we're capable of it. Telekinesis and telepathy is probably the main ones that I'll activate over
I mean,
time.
that's actually what I feel is next.
Yeah. Eventually, just it's a slow growth. Yeah.
When I was working on a client today who happened to be an intuitive empath, older woman who was here from Milan, Italy, who didn't speak English, and I just remember going, well, what if she doesn't understand me when I'm working on her? Then I got a download. I got information that said, you speak the same language of spirit.
Yeah.
So I needed to just pay attention to not the spoken word, but the energy exchange that was occurring during her treatment. And it was the most beautiful language. We were speaking and understanding each other without the spoken word. And that was an actual download from a higher place, whether that told me that, and it just made me feel really excited to know that we're doing this now.
Yeah.
She was communicating with me through her energy.
Oh, neat. Yeah.
And and people are doing that today. They really don't realize. Think about it.
They do it all the time.
Try it next time you're like in a store or at lunch or with your friends or children. Don't force it. Don't say it. Just try it and observe. Have awareness about it. See for yourself. It is happening. But that was just really cool.
Yeah, people use their abilities all the time. They're just not aware of it. They use their intuition. It's all happening. They're just shut off.
A mother's intuition is actually a real thing. So she is actually connecting with her children's energy organically.
Yep.
Now, understand that that's just not a wives' tale. That is a real thing. Never go away. That is what they call that is a connection. Mother's intuition is mother connecting with child's energy.
Even in
wherever they are in the world.
Well, even in the womb, the child is talking to the mother.
Yeah.
Even during birthing, during the 9 months.
That's right.
So, or
That's
if you
right.
if you want to go further, it's even before of it being conceived. So.
That's right, and how that's true. They made a decision. Some people say that children pick their parents. But then also look at it and transition at death of life, or death of birth, right? So death is the opposite of birth. So when we're at death, the dying, it has been told that people have witnessed that they're making connection with those that have crossed over already. You see, so it goes both ways. They're not just there's no hallucination. No. They're connecting with energies from fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh dimension and on. That is real. And the same goes with birth.
Exactly. Yeah, it's you live forever, basically.
That's right. If you know that, then you fear no death, because death is a human. It was created by humans. The word death.
Well, yeah.
The end.
Yeah,
there is no end.
I mean, our world took. I mean, obviously, the world's tougher than this one, but we took a lot of. We disconnected from spirit to. Learn a lot of hard lessons that you can't learn in spirit. That's why we're here. So it just.
Yes. But you chose this.
Yeah, exactly.
We all did. We all chose this. And we connect with certain people not by accident. Nothing is an accident.
I mean, obviously, when the hardest lessons, that's when the soul is truly learning and growing. It's just telling somebody that doesn't always work
That's
too
right.
well. It's like,
Of course, when they're going through it, of course, it's going to be hard to believe. How could something good be this painful?
exactly.
But it is. It is. Birth is painful.
Yeah.
Just FYI.
Yeah. Yep.
But it is a growth,
Mm-hmm.
and it will pass.
Definitely.
There you go.
So, okay. All right. We're going to wrap up. Anything else you'd like to say before we close out for the night?
I think we covered a lot of area, and I'm so glad that I'm back and and thank you for inviting me again this month. And
yes, definitely.
I enjoyed sharing my stories, and hopefully someone out there is going to receive some healing from this, or hear something that will help them. So blessings to you all, and much gratitude, Ivan. Thank you.
All right. Yeah. Thank you for coming on. Okay. All right. Much love, everyone. And have a great night. Take care.